Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and Restless preview, troubling Teriah, twist may lead to an eyebrow-raising indiscretion, Young and Restless. Mariah returned home from a business trip with a haunting secret that could rip her marriage apart, and the twist ahead may lead to even more trouble. Weeks ago, Mariah came back from a work trip for Cassidy first and spilled the beans to Sharon that she'd done something horrible. So awful, in fact, that she and Sharon both fear her marriage. Tessa might not survive it. But as we all waited with bated breath for the story to break wide open, it disappeared from our screens completely. Perhaps the writers were waiting for Pride Month to find Mariah and Tessa, brush them off, and continue their story, because we can report that they're back at the end of this week. That said, the news is probably not good for Teriah fans, judging from the sneak peek pics. It's clear that Mariah hasn't moved on and is still stewing, as she paces Sharon's place looking pained and pensive, presumably tortured by the guilt of whatever it is she's done. Might she be considering a confession? Thankfully, she gets some advice from her mother, though it looks as though Sharon might be taking a hard line and urging Mariah to fess up and face whatever it is she's hiding from her wife so they can work through it together. Mariah finds Tessa in the park, guitar in hand, and just to make any confession a million times harder, rubbing it in so hard what she has to lose. Her wife sings her a love song, or so it appears. Will Mariah be able to go through with a confession that could end such a beautiful union? It certainly looks like she's telling Tessa something unexpected and somewhat appalling. Who will Tessa turn to if she's just found out that Mariah cheated on her whilst away on business, or did something equally terrible? Well, we won't have to look too far. Daniel's right there in the park. And as is wont to happen on soaps, as with Daniel and Lily, it's likely that what begins as comfort could turn to something more between the two friends. Why would this particular hookup be so eyebrow-raising when this sort of thing happens? All the time on soap operas? In a word, because the writers had Tessa state that she is gay. Years ago. She didn't say she was bisexual. So, even though she's had a husband and dated Mariah's brother Noah, this would be a troubling twist. On top of, well, a troubling twist. Whatever happens, we hope Teriah will weather the storm in the end. There was a time when Tessa and Mariah, aka Teriah, stood as one of Young and Restless's most grounded and supportive couples. From the adversity they overcame to the love story that culminated in a dreamy wedding and parenthood, the couple felt invincible. But as soaps go, even the most solid relationships must eventually hit rocky terrain. And if our suspicions are right, what looms on the horizon for Teriah may not just shake them, it may redefine them. Unseen tensions start to surface. When Tessa returned from her latest tour, something seemed off. The physical distance had clearly taken a toll. Mariah, deeply engrossed in her role at Chancellor Winters and as a new mom, appeared overwhelmed but unwilling to admit it. The reunion lacked spark, and the once frequent snuggles and spontaneous affection began to taper off. Devoted fans have noticed that subtle hints are being laid out, and viewers are picking up on the emotional dissonance between the pair. Tessa, once the nurturing heartbeat of the duo, now seems distracted, almost guarded. Meanwhile, Mariah's stress has turned inward, manifesting in curt replies and midnight work marathons. A new confidant emerges. Enter Eliza, the charming new social media strategist at Chancellor Winters. Bright, ambitious, and possessing an uncanny ability to read Mariah, Eliza has started to fill a void that Mariah didn't realize had opened. Their casual conversations in the break room have shifted into late-night brainstorming sessions and long, comfortable silences punctuated by glances that linger just a beat too long. While Mariah insists there's nothing to worry about, even Sharon can't ignore the change in her daughter. During a recent mother-daughter chat, Sharon delicately brought up the topic of emotional fidelity, prompting Mariah to bristle defensively before brushing off the concern. Tessa's discovery, in a moment of honesty and perhaps desperation, Tessa snooped. Reading one of Mariah's texts from Eliza, she found what could be read as harmless or deeply revealing. "You make even coffee runs feel meaningful." The text alone might not have raised eyebrows, but paired with the distance she already felt, it became a dagger. What follows is a spiral. Tessa, hurt and unsure how to broach the topic, pulls away even further, choosing to focus on her music and spending more time at the studio. The wedge grows, and with each passing day, the lovers become roommates with a baby instead of the soulmates they once were. The temptation scene. The crescendo may come during the Chancellor Winter's charity gala. With Tessa performing and Mariah hosting, the night already has the makings of drama. After a champagne-fueled moment of vulnerability, Eliza takes Mariah by the hand and whispers something only half audible into her ear. The two disappear onto the balcony. What happens there could be anything from a confessional moment to a kiss. But whatever it is, it won't stay on that balcony, and it will change the game entirely. Fallout and Reckoning Tessa isn't naive. She's seen the signs. But seeing them and having them confirmed are two very different things. When the truth inevitably surfaces, whether through a confrontation or a careless slip, the explosion will be seismic. Will Tessa fight for their relationship? Or will she walk away, believing that some betrayals aren't meant to be forgiven? Mariah, who has always been fiercely loyal and knows what it's like to be cheated on, may find herself racked with guilt. It won't just be her relationship that's tested, but her identity as a mother, a partner, and a professional. A bigger commentary? It's possible that the writers are laying the groundwork for something deeper. Mariah and Tessa have always represented a groundbreaking relationship for daytime television. Introducing a potential infidelity plot might be an attempt to reflect the complexity and humanity of long-term love rather than a betrayal of the couple's legacy. Still, fans are split. Some see the growing tension as a natural evolution. Others feel protective of Teriah and dread a storyline that puts them in jeopardy for the sake of ratings. Can Teriah survive? We've seen soap couples weather affairs, murders, and amnesia, so there is always hope. But this time, the potential betrayal feels more psychological than physical. It's about feeling unseen, unprioritized, and undervalued. If Teriah can come back from this, they may emerge even stronger. But if they can't, fans will have to prepare to say goodbye to the fairy tale, and hello to whatever comes next for two of Young and Restless' most compelling characters. One thing is certain, the twist is coming, and when it lands, it won't just be eyebrows that are raised, hearts will be broken, loyalties tested, and Genoa City will never be the same again.